Good morning, students. Am I audible? Please confirm the chat box. Students, am I audible? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you for confirming. Let's proceed with the session today. My name is Ritu, and our session will be, this is batch 325, and our session will be 6 a.m. at the Indian Standard Time, according to the Indian Standard Time. And in case of any queries, you can always contact our support team. They're always there to support you from Monday to Saturday, 9 to 7. So let's proceed with the session today. Shall we proceed? Before proceeding further, we need to understand what actually the Python is. What actually the Python is. Students, whenever we talk about Python, we need to understand it is a programming language, right? And what kind of programming language? It is a general purpose, simple, platform independent, highly interpreted, and high-level programming language. These are the features. These are the features. It is a general purpose, simple, platform independent, highly interpreted, and high-level programming language. Now, what kind of applications one can develop with the help of Python? By learning Python coding, we can develop many applications, such as website development. Example, we can develop it with the Java programming language, C language, C++, Python programming language codes. We can go ahead and develop the gaming applications, artificial intelligence applications like AI applications, machine learning, deep learning. If we want to proceed with them, we need to have the knowledge of Python first. Desktop GUI, graphical user interface applications, image processing applications, text processing applications can be developed by using Python. Business applications, audio and video based applications like YouTube, we can go ahead and develop with the help of Python. Web scraping, harvesting applications, data visualizations, we can solve numerical and complex mathematical operations which we cannot solve otherwise. Software development, operation system installers, CAD and CAM applications, all these applications, like even for the automation industry, we can go ahead for testing of sensors, they are using the Python, animation of applications, data analysis and data analytics. If you want to proceed your career in this, you need to have the knowledge of Python. Education programs, computer vision, even in the schools and colleges, they are even providing the knowledge of Python nowadays because we can make the career in that. All right. So there are lot many things which we can develop, like each and every field. Even if we go to the banking sector, even if we go to the harvesting business applications, we can go anywhere. We need to have the knowledge of Python today. Any questions till now? No questions. Good. Let's proceed. Now we are getting started with the Python. When we are starting with the Python, we need to have the knowledge of history first, like how the Python is developed, how the Python was developed, versions of Python. and which version the MNCs are using on their OS. Downloading process of a Python software. Then Python programming is inspired from and features of Python we are going to talk about. First of all, let's start with the history of Python. Students, when we are talking about the history of Python, it is one of the general purpose programming language used in many applications. Okay. Now, the Python programming language was conceived in the year 1980. When was it conceived? It was conceived in year 1980 and implemented in year 1989. But if we talk about officially released, if we talk about officially, it was released in the year 1991, February 20. Officially, it was released to the industry in 1991. It was developed by Guido van Rossum, who was the father of Python programming language, and was developed at Centrum Wiskunde Informatica in Netherlands. That is CWI Institute in Netherlands. ABC programming language was the predecessor of Python programming language. Python programming language managed and maintained by a non-commercial organization, that is PSF, Python Software Foundation. And official website of Python Software Foundation is www.python.org, from where we can easily download it. So what is a downloading process of Python? Let's proceed it and understand this. Let's proceed and understand this. If you want to go ahead with the Python programming language, just type here, go to the official website of Python software, that is www.python.org. Just click on the link. You'll be able to see the screen like this, right? Here, now we have the version, that is, latest version is Python 3.12.4. So let's go ahead and download it. See, when we'll go to the downloads, here we can see all the releases, source codes, Windows, Mac OS, other platform license, alternative implementation. Now, for Windows, we need to click Python 3.12.4. Just click on this link. It will start downloading. It will start downloading. You will get the screen like this, as it is already there in my system. So you need to go ahead and start downloading. Click on all the options. You will get the options. Click on all of them, and then you will be able to download it. Is this clear? Clear, students? Any questions? No. Let's proceed further. Students, for any queries, you need to contact our support team or for session updates. Okay, one of the students has raised the hand. Yes, Chandra, please unmute yourself.
Okay, so I'm from networking side, networking background. So I have 10 years of experience in networking side. So I need to learn Python. I don't know of coding really. So you need to guide to for basics, or it will be for
Chandra, this course is from basic to advanced. So we'll be providing the basic training also, like if you want to proceed your career in this. So we will be providing the, sorry, just a second. We'll be providing you the basic training and we'll proceed till advanced. Okay, so that will be helpful for you if you want to build your career in this.
Actually, we have network automation is there, so that's what I'm learning this Python.
Okay, no problem. So you'll be able to get that. That will be really helpful. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
no problems. Any other students? If you want to ask any questions, just raise your hand. That will be easier for you. Okay, let's proceed further. Students, for session updates, you need to contact our support team, as I've told you. And for job-related updates also, just follow us on our website, that is www.logix.tech.com. You can follow us on our Telegram group, Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn also. And please remember that the timings will be 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time. And for session updates, you need to follow us on our WhatsApp community group and follow the announcement option. First 2 sessions recordings will upload on your YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel, and will be shared the link on the WhatsApp community. So please follow us and join the WhatsApp community group. This is the link provided to for the WhatsApp community. I'll be sharing this. So whosoever wants to join can join here also. So let's proceed. So we were discussing about the history of Python. So it was developed in the year, it was conceived in the year 1980 and was released in the year 1989. But officially it was released in 1991, February 20, and Guido van Rossum was the father of Python. Developed in Centrum Wiskunde Informatica Institute in Netherlands, and ABC programming language is the predecessor of the Python programming language. Managed by a non-commercial organization called Python Software Foundation. And as I've told you, I've shown you also the official website of Python Software Foundation is www.python.org, from where you can easily and freely download it. Now, let's talk about the versions of Python MNCs are using. Versions is what is the numerical identity given to the project vendor or a product. So whenever we talk about the Python programming languages, it contains the 3 major versions. First is 1, 2, and 3. It has the 3 major versions, 1, 2, and 3. Please remember this. If we talk about Python 1.x, point x, where 1 is the major version and x represents the minor versions. We have the minor versions like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7. These are the minor versions of. But whatever comes after the decimal point are the minor versions. So these are the minor versions of Python 1.x, which is outdated nowadays. And please remember that Python does not support the backward compatibility. So if we talk about Python 1.x or 1.7 or 1.5, they are not, we cannot work on them right now. Next we have is Python 2.x, where we have Python 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Till 7, we have the versions, and they are still, some MNCs are still using these versions. Now, the newest version, the latest version is Python 3.x. 3.x, we have the latest version is 3.12.3. 3.12. Now it's 4. I have shown you here also, like when we were proceeding with the downloading process, we have seen that here it's mentioned Python 3.12.4. 0.12, 3 is the major version, 0.12 is the minor version, 0.4 is the minor changes which takes place in the Python. Please remember that Python 3.9 plus cannot be used on Windows 7 or earlier. So if we want to proceed with that, we need to have the knowledge of, we should be downloaded through Windows 8. Okay, then only we can work on this. Let's talk about all the releases. See, these are all the releases, and when it released, it's mentioned here. When it's released, it's mentioned here. I'm sorry, students. So we can see here all the releases in all the versions. Let's proceed further. As I've told you, we recommend you to download the Python 3.12.4 now. Okay, from www.python.org. Now let's talk about the features of Python programming language. Shall we proceed? Any questions still here? You can ask me right now. Let's proceed further. Now, what are the features? What do we understand by the features? Features of a language are nothing but services or facilities provided by the language developers. And they are used by the language programmers for developing the real-time applications. If we talk about the Python, Python has 11 features, right? They are used by the language programmers for developing the real-time applications. And about the 11 features, let's discuss about them. So 11 features are, it is a simple programming language, freeware and open source, platform independent language, dynamically typed programming language, interpreted programming language, high-level programming language, robust, extensible, embedded, both functional and object-oriented. Object-oriented programming language supports the third-party APIs, that is application programming interface such as NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SciPy, Scikit, Keras, Seaborn, etc. So these are the features of the Python. Let's talk about them in detail. But before that, we need to know that Python is inspired from the 4 different programming languages, that it has learned functional programming from C, object-oriented programming from C++, modular programming language from Modulo 3, scripted programming from Perl. So it is inspired from the four different programming languages: C, C++, Modulo 3, and Perl. Now let's proceed with the features now. How can we say that Python is a simple language? It is one of the simple programming language because of its three key features, three technical factors. What is this? That it provides the rich set of APIs. APIs are what? Full form of API is Application Programming Interface. It has the rich set of APIs, which are also known as libraries, so that Python programmer can reuse the predefined code without writing their own code. So Python-based applications are easy to develop. Okay, what can they do? They can reuse the predefined code. All right, let's go ahead. Now, what is API? As I told you, it provides the rich set of APIs. Just hold for a second. Let me have a glass of water. Yes. Now, it is an application programming interface, and API is a collection of modules. Please remember what is API? It is a collection of modules, and module is a collection of functions, variables, and classes. Like we have calendar, maths, CMaths, OS, random, etc. These are the predefined modules. Okay, so if we want to proceed with this, we need to import calendar, import maths, import CMath, import OS, remodule, random module. So we'll discuss about them in details once we proceed further. Let's proceed. Now, factor 2 is it provides the garbage collector facility. What does it mean? So whenever we talk about the garbage collector facility, what does it do? It removes the unused memory space, which improves the performance of Python-based applications. So whenever we run any Python programming language, the unused memory space will be automatically removed. We need not to delete it. So we can develop the Hadoop application. We can develop the Hadoop applications with the help of Python programming language, and garbage collector facilities helps us in the performance of Python-based applications. Garbage collector takes care of the automatic memory management because unused memory space will automatically be removed. Third factor is it provides the user-friendly syntaxes. So, whenever the Python programmer whenever the Python programmer wants to develop the Python programs, what do? They provide the syntaxes. We need to follow the syntaxes. Once we follow the syntaxes, we'll be able to develop the error-free programs in limited span of time. Let's go ahead. Second is platform independent language. How can we say it is a platform independent language? Python is known to be a platform independent language because its data types remain same on all types of OSs. Do we understand what is OSS? Do we understand what is OSS? Okay. Students, you need to give me the answer in the chat box. Please write your answers and let me know. In effective platform independent language, all types of values will store in the form of objects. See, one of the students is saying that he does not know OSS. What is OSS? Other students? Any one of you? Come up with the answers. Waiting for your responses. OSS is operating systems. Okay, so let's proceed further. In effective platform independent language, all types of values will be stored in the form of objects. And they can store the unlimited amount of data. So whenever we store anything in the form of objects, we can store the unlimited amount of data. If we talk about the other languages such as Java, they are size restricted, where the Python objects contains the unlimited size and unlimited values can be stored. Why so? Because whatever we are storing will be stored in the form of objects. Okay, and as I've told you earlier also that we can store the Hadoop applications also. Hadoop applications mean big applications also with the help of Python programming language because of its garbage collector facilities, which helps in the performance of Python programming language, Python program. Let's proceed. Java objects, as I've told you, they are size restricted, where Python objects contains the unlimited size and unlimited values can be stored. In Python, all values are stored in the form of objects. Third feature, freeware and open source. What do we understand by freeware? It is said to be a freeware because it can be easily and freely downloaded. We can easily and freely download this Python from its official website. What is the official website? That is www.python.org. So we can freely download it from its official website. Open source. Why it is known as open source? The standard name of Python is called CPython. Students, you need to remember this because internally, whatever the file will be stored. Like if we are storing the web, any type of application, we need to store it with the .py extension. So whenever we save any file with the .py extension, internally, it will be stored with the .pyc. Internally, I'm talking about internally. Externally, we are storing the file with .py extension for our understanding, but internally, it will be stored with the .pyc. So the standard name of Python is CPython. Some of the company vendors came forward and customized the CPython and used the customized versions in-house tools in their company. Now, some of the customized versions of Python are called the distributions of Python, like JPython or Jython. When we talk about the JPython or Jython, these are helpful in running the Java-based application. IronPython or IPython used to run the C#.NET applications. MicroPython used to develop the microcontrollers. RubyPython used to develop the Ruby-based applications. Anaconda Python used to run the Hadoop applications. Means Hadoop application means big data applications. Fourth feature is dynamically typed programming language. There are two types of programming language. One is static type and the other one is dynamically typed programming language. So what is the difference between static typed and dynamically typed programming language? Let's understand this with the help of example. When we are talking about the static type programming language, in this, declaration is mandatory of a variable. Like if I want to store, let me give you an example. If I want to store anything in the form of in Python, we need not to define a variable like a is equal to 1. Now, if I write a type of a, this is an integer type. Whereas if we talk about the other languages, there we need to define the variable all the time. In the static programming language, we need to define a variable like integer a is equal to 1. Invalid syntax. Now, I can show you where also. Now, when we are talking about the static programming language, integer A, B, C, we can see the declaration is mandatory here. A is equal to 10. First, we have declared, then only we'll be able to perform the action. Like int ABC variable, declaration is mandatory. A is 10, B is 20, C is equal to A plus B, and we'll get the output. But in spite of this, if we'll talk about dynamically typed programming language, I need to write A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to A plus B. Now, if I'll write print A type of A int. Now, print B type of B. Twenty. Print C type of C. So we need not to define a variable. So we need not to declare a variable. So that is why it is known to be a dynamically typed programming language. Let's proceed with the example. See, here, in these programming language, programmer need not to specify the data type of the variable so that the data type of the variable decided by the Python execution environment based values assigned by the program. I have given the examples here. See, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 1.2, which is a float data type. Now, C is equal to A plus B. So when I'm writing print A type of B, I am getting this is a class integer. Print B, this is a class float. We are not declaring it. We are getting the output on our own. So all the values of the Python programming language will be stored in the form of objects. Is this clear, students? The difference between the static type and the dynamically typed programming language? Is this clear to you? Any questions still here? Just a second. One of the students has raised the hand. Yes, Chandra, please unmute yourself.
Can you elaborate to that object exert object where we need to use that? What is the object in that? Yeah.
See, whatever values will be stored in the form of objects only. We need not to specify that. That will be automatically stored in the form of objects.
Oh.
Clear?
Okay.
Okay. How to define the string? Srinivas, we'll talk about it. Don't you worry when we'll start with the data types. We'll proceed about it and I'll let you know. Let me give you the example if you want to go ahead. Because if I'll, clear this, even the students who are not from the programming background will be able to know about it. Let me write. Let me write. Now, print s type of class string. Clear? Is this clear to you? Srinivasa, is this clear to you? Please confirm. If you people ask the question, you need to answer also. Good. Good. So every time we need not to define the variable in this. Okay. It will be, that is why it is known as the dynamically typed programming language. Now, fifth feature is interpreted programming language. As I've told you, whenever we develop any Python program, we need to give the file name and we need to save it with the .py extension. File name .py. So whenever we execute the Python programming, two processes takes place internally. Now, what are those processes? First is a compilation process and second is the execution process. Now, what is the difference between the compilation process and the execution process? See, in compilation process, the Python source code submitted to the Python compiler, it reads the source code, check for the errors, verify for the syntaxes, and if no error found, then Python compilers convert it into the intermediate code called bytecode with an extension .pyc. And if the source code, if errors found in the source code, then it will be displayed on the console. And in the execution process, what happens? PVM reads the Python intermediate code line by line, converts it into the machine understandable language. What is that? Binary code, which is read by the OS and finally gives the result. Let me show you with the help of diagram. See, this is a source code. I have saved one file with the sum.py. I'm running one program where I'm trying to find out the sum of some variable. So I have saved that file with the sum.py. This is a source code. The compilation process takes place. It will go ahead and reads the source code line by line. Check, verify for the syntaxes. And the whole process will take place. Then it will convert it into the intermediate code, that is sum.pyc, which is an internal process. This is a bytecode. Okay. Now, after that, what does the PVM do? The execution process will start after that. It will read the code line by line and convert it into the machine understandable language. So we all know that machine always understands the binary code, which is read by the OS and processor, and finally we will get the result. Now, what do we understand by PVM? PVM is Python Virtual Machine. It is one program in Python software whose role is to read line by line of bytecode and convert it into the machine understandable code. So in every program, execution and compilation process takes place line by line when converting by line, and it is one of the interpretation based programming language. Is this clear? What do we understand by compilation and execution process? Any questions? Any questions, students? Still here? No questions. Okay. Hope whatever we have discussed till now is clear to you. We'll discuss about the rest of the features in our next session. Will that be fine? In case of any queries, as I've told you, that if you want to proceed, if case of any queries, you can contact our support team. Please follow us on our WhatsApp community link so that you can get the updates. And if you want to contact me in case of any query, you can contact me on my mail ID, that is ritu.logiclabs@gmail.com. Please remember, in case of any queries, you can contact me also regarding the Python. If you have any queries, you can contact me regarding the session on my mail ID, that is ritu.logiclabs@gmail.com. Otherwise, if you want to talk about any query, you need to contact our support. Okay, please note down the numbers of also and refer your friends and family. Refer your friends and family to join us. Please follow us on our website. This is the course duration and course fee. 40 days is a course duration and course fee is 4130. So as you don't have any questions, let's wind up the session here only. We'll discuss rest of the features tomorrow. Please tell your family and friends also to join us. And once you join the community link, you will get the update and you will get the recordings also. We'll upload our YouTube channel and we'll share the link in WhatsApp comment. So please join us. Thank you, students. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.